Great. For our collaboration, I suggested we do something I am completely unfamiliar with, and Nick is completely familiar with. Namely, I fell in love with the way Nick works with interactive texts and works with games. And I suggested that I want to try and write an interactive poem. So I created a text that could branch out into different directions. I gave it to a translator, Cynthia Rogers, who translated it into English, and then sent it to Nick, who programmed it and worked with the text, working with the translation and creating a new form of a new poem, basically, that permutates and transforms as it goes along. And so what we're presenting to you tonight is the final result in a kind of choose-your-own-adventure kind of way. I see we already have our volunteer who is going to navigate through the text. I am going to read the original Latvian version, and Nick is going to read his adaptation of the translation as we go through each step of the text. There are two epigraphs. Mine is, whenever they don't find life on other planets, I can't help but think it means they also can't find death, which is by Brendan Constantine.
And to be a human being doesn't do it. To be human has been a constraint. The unknown awaits us, but I sense that that unknown is a totalization and will be the true humanization we long for. Am I speaking of death? No, of life. Clarice Lispector in The Passion according to G.H.
So shall we begin our session? Even the performers don't know what's going to happen. Is it clicking? There we go. Mana terapeiti stāsta par kognitīvajiem behavioristiem un vingrinājumu citplanētietis, kur visas lietas jāuzlūko it kā pirmo reizi, lai izsistos no iestaigātām neironu takām, vienkārši paskaties uz kaut ko un apsver to, viņa saka. Un es izeju no kabineta un aizsmēķēju, ielieku ērti pārnēsājamo miniatūro liesmu metēju kabatā, virs manis iekšpagalmā pārlido kāsis, un es uzlūkoju koku.
My therapist tells me about cognitive behaviorists and the alien exercise, where you regard all things as if for the very last time. To cut past the beaten neural paths, you simply feel a thing and consider it, she says. So I pace around her office and light a cigarette, slide the conveniently portable miniature flamethrower into my pocket. A V of birds flies over me in the courtyard and I disregard a tree.
Jā, apsvērsim Helderlīna jukušos veltījumus un apsvērsim pagāniskos baltu rituālus un Grētas Thunbergies karjeru un apsvērsim lopkopības kaitnieciskumu, apsvērsim, kā vakarā tu beigsi no dienas, skatoties saldu apokalipsi Netflixā.
Yes. Let's consider Hoodlin's Holy Bean addiction, and let's consider e-girl Twitch streams and Godzilla's career. Let's consider the side effects of agriculture. Let's consider how you shall flee the day into the night, watching some sweet documentary on Netflix.
Apsvērsim šokolādes batoniņu, kurā pirkstgali iekausē iedobītes, atgādinot, ka šajā vakara gaisā esam kā vārgas saules, siltas bojas kādā augstā izplatījuma sviestā.
Let's consider a chocolate bar with prints melted into it by warm breaths, reminding us that in this evening air we are like silent voids, quiet buoys dotted across the melting butter of the universe.
Es apsveru, kā mans tēvs atnāca ciemos. Stāvēja manā virtuvē, kā apmaldījies uz īkšķa, šūpodams korķviļķi, kā sienas pulksteņa pendeli. Un pēkšņi ieskrēja mans 3-gadnieks, prasīdams, kas ir tas, rokās turēdams seksarotai lietu. Tas bija vibrējošs locekļa gredzens, ko viņš acīm redzot atradis blandoties pa atvilktnēm zem gultas. Vai tā nav vesela profesija meklēt nobēdzinātās netiklības, ko aiz sevis atstājuši vecāki, pagātnes rakstnieki un diktatori?
I consider how my father came over, stood in my bedroom as if lost, a corkscrew swinging on his thumb like a pendulum in a wall clock. And suddenly my 3-year-old burst in asking, "What's this?" holding in his hand a shoebox of photos and letters. It vibrated with past lovers. He had apparently found rummaging through the drawers under our bed. It's a calling in its own right, looking for hidden invocations, left behind by parents, historians, and observers of the past.
Apsvērsim koku augšup vērstos dzimumu orgānus. Spītību, ar kuru mans vectēvs turējās pie novecojušiem frazeoloģismiem, kā zars turas pie pēdējās zīles, pirms to palaiž vaļā. Un ja nu atmiņa strādā līdzīgi, un aizmiršana ir tikai cita veida sēšana, es eju uz veikalu, un galva kūp baltos dūmos. Tās ir pirmdienas vakara aizmiršanās sporas. Tie ir mana paura pūpenžu apsvērumi.
As an alien, I'm most fascinated by how little we care about death. Let's consider the upturned genitalia of trees, the tenacity with which my grandmother clinged to obsolete topologies, like a branch holds onto its last leaf before letting go of it. What if that's how love works, and telling is just another kind of dropping seeds? Walking to the doctor's, head wrapped in white fumes, the spores of my Monday evenings letting go, the projections of my puffball skull.
The alternative readings, the other ways you can go through the text will be, you'll be able to do that once Nick uploads the interactive text on his website, is that correct?
So I'll make sure that that's on my website. I'll give all of the details to Steve as well, who can share that with the festival. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, great work.